Dorner posted a multi-page manifesto online where he calls himself a cop killer. Team 10 troubleshooter Kristen Severant read it all.
That's right, and Kristen, this really gives us a really good look into who we're dealing with here, right?
It does, Steve, and it's scary. In this manifesto, he threatens anyone who even attempts to go after him, saying things like, think of your children and don't be selfish. He also talks about his weapons and how he says he got them. Dorner's multi-page manifesto makes it clear he's armed and has nothing to lose. He writes, self-preservation is no longer important to me. I do not fear death, as I died long ago on 1/2/09. That was the date he was fired from LAPD. He says the attacks will stop when the department states the truth about my innocence publicly, and no one grows up and wants to be a cop killer. He writes, to the children of those officers who are eradicated, your parent was not the individual you thought they were. He threatens, you are aware that I have always been the top shot, and I will utilize every bit of small arms training, demolition, ordnance, and survival training I've been given. He writes, I'm off the grid. I assure you the casualty rate will be high. And continues, unfortunately, orphanages will be making a comeback in the 21st century. He says, in my cache, you will find several arms. All of these small arms are manufactured by the Cerebus Freedom Group, the same company responsible for the Portland Mall shooting and Sandy Hook massacre. He also makes it clear he wants an automatic weapons ban. He says, why does anyone need a suppressor? Why does anyone need an AR-15? And he states, are you aware that I obtained Class 3 weapons without a background check? He claims he used a notarized trust and military ID to buy those weapons. Lastly, he blasts the NRA's president, calling him a, quote, failure of a human being. And he promises more violence, too. It's really scary. We know that he was trained on these guns as an LAPD officer, of course, and he was also in the Navy. He writes about that Navy career in his manifesto.
17, 18 pages long in that manifesto. What's he say about the Navy in it?
Okay, Preston Phillips is going to have more on his Navy career, but in the manifesto, he writes that he was a commanding officer of a reserve unit. And again, he blames the LAPD for losing that Navy career.
And you have more at 6.
I do. More coming up at 6. He writes so much in here, and he talks about the fact that he has depression and why he wants his brain studied.